Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Thunder and Lightning podcast. I'm Thunder.
And I'm Lightning.
I just want to remind everyone that Julio didn't make it.
Julio's not with us, and if you don't know what we're talking about, tune into last week's podcast.
Last week's podcast, I put Julio. I forget what I called it, but I've made sure to put Julio in the title.
Yeah, it was The Legacy of Julio, I believe is the title.
The thing that we never talked about that I was thinking about the other day is, like, no matter what way you look at it, like, obviously this guy didn't actually die, but there was a handoff at some point. I don't think the person who got our food was the person who brought us our food. I really don't.
It could not have been. Maybe their car broke down.
Maybe. That
You know what
seems
gets me, though?
unlikely, though.
Not that the Legacy of Julio needs to span 2 podcasts long.
Yeah,
But-
we won't talk about it for that much longer.
But you know what gets me is he never texts you back.
No. Oh,
Never.
true. Yeah, I texted him. Yeah, that's true. Oh, well. Before we actually get into it, did you want me to turn the air conditioner back on?
Do you want it on?
Do you want it on?
Do you want it?
I kind of want it on.
Yeah, then do it.
Okay. Chris, how was your week?
My week was good. Highlights of my week, were definitely seeing Pauline a lot, finishing Chapter 7, which I think I mentioned last week.
Yeah.
We've written out most, if not all, the dialogue for Chapter 8. And
you restarted watching Lord of the Rings.
we did restart watching the extended versions of Lord of the Rings. Beyond that, not much band news going on. And a lot of stuff happening behind the scenes over at Thunder and Lightning Gaming.
That's us.
Yeah,
Yeah, anything we can talk about? Not really, huh?
No.
If you're listening to this the day it comes out, Sunday video essay, one that Chris worked really hard on. Don't want to spoil it. It is about Star Wars though, so
Yeah.
check that out.
Yeah, do that.
Other than that, I think everything's pretty under wraps right now.
Yeah, I have a feeling I'm going to leave here and I'm going to say, oh, I forgot to talk about that. But I really can't think of anything major that happened. I've just kind of been working on my little projects, working on getting into school.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, getting psyched for Comic-Con.
Yes. We can't talk about Comic-Con for an hour straight again, but
No.
I'm also getting excited for that. Worked on my costume a little.
One thing we can hype is be sure to keep an eye out for our 2 Comic-Con videos.
Yes. If you do like Comic-Con and vlogging, we're gonna be doing not 1 but 2 Boston Comic-Con videos.
Yeah. So be sure to keep an eye out for those. I'm sure they'll be coming out one after another.
I think it's
week-wise.
gonna be 2 Wednesdays in a row.
Yeah.
Following Comic-Con.
Yeah.
Which is
exactly. That's what I
September
was trying to
3rd,
say.
I think. Who knows?
September 3rd to 5th for Comic-Con.
I meant to tell you. You follow Fan Expo Boston on Instagram, right?
I do.
Did you see their post where it was Ezra Miller and Grant Gustin both dressed up as the Flash?
Yes.
And they were like, "Who are these? Wrong answers only."
Yeah.
I didn't do this, but this is just not me, but I was like, this would be perfect. I wanted to comment guests at Boston Comic-Con. But I was like, that's too mean.
Well, I think one of them is coming, aren't they?
No.
There's people from The Flash.
Yeah, but not the guy who plays the Flash.
That would have been hysterical. That's why we need a Thunder and Lightning Instagram for comments like that.
Because they'll post a picture not about, like, they'll do that, like a meme, right?
Yeah.
But it'll have their border around it.
Right.
So at first glance, I
You're
see their
thinking
border.
guest.
I see their border, and then I see a picture, and I'm like, what? And then it's like, oh, it's
Right.
They're forcing they're Aisha Tylering a meme onto us. But yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited. There's a clock on Fan Expo
Oh yeah.
that's just counting down the seconds
Yeah.
till the doors are open, and I'm very excited. We're going for the first time with pretty much the entire Thunder and Lightning crew,
Yeah.
which is exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So stay tuned for that stuff. Anyways, how was your week, Anthony?
My week was fine. We didn't. This was non-intentional. But we didn't have a video essay planned this week, so I
sure.
just sort of chilled. And didn't do one.
Yeah, we got to plan out our schedule for the next couple months.
Well, also there was 5 Sundays this month, and then there's gonna be 5 in October, I think. I don't know. Anyways, I have a story.
Oh no.
Well,
Anthony's Kitchen Corner story?
No, nothing like that.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, I'm yawning. So it's kind of a disappointing story.
Your yawn has a lot. I'm sorry. Your yawn has a lot of anime poses in it.
Oh,
I just wanted to
every
point
time,
that out for the audience.
For Thunder and Lightning lore purposes, every time I yawn, I do a different JoJo pose.
But like not just one. It's like three separate moves in one yawn.
All right, are you
All
done
right.
exposing me?
I am.
For maybe the first time ever, I watched a movie that you recommended me, and I did not like it.
Oh no, the one we watched?
No, that movie was great.
Oh, okay. I was like, did you fucking lie to me?
No.
Chris
Chris is talking about we watched the first Kingsman movie. No, that was great.
Yeah.
I watched A Quiet Place, and I did not like it.
No kidding. Okay,
Yeah.
so this isn't the podcast for this, but is it because Bird Box ruined you? Because I thought it was a lot better than Bird Box.
Okay, so here's the thing, the movie was better than Bird Box.
Okay.
Bird Box was complete garbage. And
yes.
what this movie did better than Bird Box is that if there is a sight-based apocalypse, if you're a blind person, you're good. And it's kind of tough and sort of shitty to watch a film where they're like, what are we going to do without sight? And it's like, blind people exist.
Right.
But if you have a sound-based apocalypse and you are a deaf person, you're still going to make noise when you fucking move and stuff.
Yeah.
So it had that going for it. I
would also argue it had going for it there was a monster in the movie.
Right, yeah, that you could actually see. That's the other thing I will give it. The monster design was pretty cool.
Yeah.
That being said, here are my complaints. I'm going to do them very quickly.
Sure.
1, stop killing children and dogs. Find a different way to tell your story.
Okay.
2, I cannot empathize with dumb characters. The mom in this movie is so dumb.
Can you give me an explanation? I just can't.
Yeah,
can't
don't
think
get
of one.
pregnant during a sound-based apocalypse.
Oh yeah, well, okay.
Because they were like day 70, and it was like, oh, our kid died, and then it was like day definitely more than 9 months later,
right.
and she's pregnant, and I was like, don't do that. I understand that you want another kid, but like you're in a sound-based apocalypse. I know that they like prepped for it and they knew it was coming, but like that's a bunch of prep they didn't have to do.
Yeah.
If they just didn't get pregnant. Like I understand you want a new kid, but like you're in the apocalypse and you're like, as far as I could tell, some of the only survivors. You don't get to have another kid this time. Sorry. And then if you're pulling laundry up a flight of stairs and it gets caught on something and you live in a sound-based apocalypse, don't keep tugging at it. Back up and see what it got caught on.
Yeah.
The movie sets up the rules right away, okay? They're like, if you make sound, these things are going to get you. Maybe they want to eat you. Maybe they just don't like sound and they want to kill whatever is making it. Whatever it is, if you make sound, they're going to kill you. So the scene at the beginning when the kid dies, he's making sound. Jim from The Office is running, sprinting towards him silently because he's barefoot or whatever.
Jim Halpert, yes.
This kid gets murked by an alien, I guess. They also didn't explain what they are, but that part didn't bother me. He gets eaten. It cuts away, implying the rest of them are fine because they were being quiet.
Yeah.
So they've set up this rule where even if you're a couple, like if you were making noise right now and I wasn't, you'd be fucked, but I would be fine.
Right.
And then they want you to feel tension. So the scene where the old man screams because his wife, I assume his wife died, and then he was like, I don't want to go on living anymore. I'm just going to yell. then Jim from The Office takes his kid to a tree and he's like, "We gotta be quiet. It's right there." And I was just like, "You don't have to be worried right now. That guy's fucked because he made sound, but you guys are fine. Just stand still and don't make sound, and it'll go away because that's what these things do."
Well, so maybe it's because I've seen both the movies. they hear like a lot, so I think that's the tension in that scene is they can pretty much hear you breathing if they're close enough.
Right.
But
I just didn't, because of the first scene, how he was literally like running towards it and he didn't hear him because someone else was making sound.
Yeah.
When scenes like that happen, and specifically that one, I was not tense. I was just
Okay.
like, you guys are completely fine.
Okay.
The end. I just didn't enjoy it. It wasn't terrible, and it was better than Bird Box in many ways. Bird Box is absolute garbage. Go listen to our podcast on it. But this movie did not wow me. Also, I was in the mood for horror, and I just was not scared at all. And
Okay.
I think maybe I would have been if I wasn't so like, well, this is kind of dumb, as I
Yeah.
was watching it. I kind of like had already, I don't know. But as far as being scared goes, I kind of already like given up on like empathizing with like the rules of this world and whatnot. I don't think I'm going to watch the second one.
Okay.
I'm glad I didn't rent both because on YouTube, one of them was like $3 and the second one was like $9 because it just came out. And I was just going to rent them both and play them both. And I'm glad I didn't because I don't think I care enough to watch the second one.
Okay. That's fair. I think not to just totally shit on this movie, but I really think Bird Box ruined the genre of horror movies.
No, I mean, and here's the thing. Like, I went into this being like, it's going to be like Bird Box, but it's going to be better. And it was.
Yeah.
I just still didn't love it. I would give Quiet Place a very solid, well-deserved 6 out of 10, and I would give Bird Box, I think, probably maybe a generous 2.
Yeah.
Like, I want to give it a 1, but it at least had actors in it, so who acted, so I guess I'll give it a 2. That's kind of where my head is at.
Okay.
Neither were scary. One had better rules than the other one as far as, like, how this universe works.
Yeah.
And I will say one of them tried really, really hard to get emotions out of me, and it just did not work. And that being Bird Box. And A Quiet Place didn't try that hard to get emotions out of me, and it like sort of worked better.
Yeah.
Or at least I was like, oh, this is the scene where the emotions are happening.
I will say, and this kind of stays true for me through Bird Box 1 and 2, the daughter's a little...
You mean Quiet Place?
Yeah, sorry. The daughter's a little asshole, and
The deaf one?
Yeah, and I don't feel sympathy for her through 1 or 2.
It also
they definitely want you to.
It also took her far too long to realize that she could make that noise without having it attached to her ear.
Yeah.
And then, oh my God, sorry. I'm glad we brought that up because this is my last complaint about it, I promise. And then they figure out how to defeat the aliens or whatever they are, and I was like, the movie was just about to get good, and then it cut to credits. I was like, they're going to go on an alien killing spree, and then it just stopped.
See, that's movie 2.
Movie 2 starts right where movie 1 left off?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, movie 2 gives you day 1 right at the beginning. It never cuts back to it again.
I saw the trailer for it. It seems like they actually finally fucking tell you what happened.
Yeah, it gives you day 1, and then from there it's like 2 minutes after A Quiet Place 1 ends.
Interesting. Yeah, I personally would have loved for it to be the finale of that movie.
Yeah.
Because the movie was only an hour and a half long, and I respect short horror films. I think Brightburn's like 50 minutes or something like that.
No. It's like it's roughly the same.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But I was just like, this could have been really like, I know that because in a horror film, either everyone dies or you have a moment, or like most people die, and you sometimes in horror films there's a moment where it's like, oh, we figured it out, like we win now. This is us winning, and that did technically happen. I would have liked it to be more of a direct, like I really wanted to see her just go to town on a bunch of aliens.
That's Quiet Place 2. Maybe I have a better I walked away with a better experience with A Quiet Place the series because I watched them both and I watched them both consecutively, essentially. Because number 2 does give you that it gives you what you wanted out of it. When I say that, I mean you specifically.
Right.
It gives you what you wanted.
Because
Second one.
I know I complain about this a lot, but I don't need you to explain to me what they are and how they got there. I would love to know, and it seems like they do that in part 2. But if they didn't, I would be okay with that if it was just like a mystery to the audience how these things, why these things, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Maybe if it goes up on a streaming service I'll tune in. But not going to go out of my way to watch the second one.
No, that's
right
fair.
Now.
I mean, 1 out of maybe 10, I'll take it.
Oh yeah, I mean, if you want to count the Rocky series,
right,
as individual movies, then yeah.
Oh, I wasn't. Do you think I think I've counting Rocky as 1. I think I've probably recommended like 10 movies at this point.
Oh yeah, counting Rocky at 1, it's probably about 10. You know, now that we're here, for the life of me, I can't think of other ones. But yeah, I was I don't know. I don't know. I don't want people to feel like I went into this with like it's gonna suck like Bird Box. Like I wanted this to be good, and I didn't find myself enjoying it. But I will say it was better than Bird Box. But I think I would watch. How long is Bird Box? An hour and a half. I think I would watch 4 episodes of The Big Bang Theory before I would sit through Bird Box the second time.
Fair enough. And that was our mini episode of Cinematic Relief. If you tune into this podcast and you enjoyed our conversation of a movie, which isn't always negative, it's actually usually positive outlook on films, go check out Cinematic Relief. That was a little taste of exactly what that podcast is like.
That's why I didn't want to be like, let's do a Quiet Place episode, because then I walk up to the mic and I'm like, I hated it. Here's all the reasons why.
Yeah, we usually don't do that with the movies that make it to Cinematic Relief, unless that's the point.
Unless that's a point,
like the Bird Box episode,
or with Scoob,
or with Scoob, right?
Well, plus you had already talked about it a little bit, so I was like, I'm just going to talk about it on the normal podcast, get it out of the way.
Sure.
But yeah, that was how my week was.
Your week was a sense-based horror film.
Yeah. It's so funny how they're the same movie, except Bird Box picked the wrong sense.
Picked the wrong sense, and Bird Box made all the wrong decisions.
Bird Box has the unfortunate... no, sorry. There was something else I was going to talk about. I'll get to that in a sec. Bird Box has the unfortunate thing that sometimes TV and movies do, and I can't understand why they do this, of a unlikable main character, and you can't root for them,
right?
But their names, like, you know, quote unquote, their names on the box, you know, they're the main character. You're supposed to root for them, but they suck,
right?
Which is a problem that I have with Titans. Did I tell you that Titans is back?
No.
Titans is back, and holy shit, is it not good? I don't know.
Can't wait for our next lowest viewed podcast. I mean, lowest viewed video essay.
Oh, I know, right? They, like, first of all, just to get out in front of this, I know after I complain about it a bunch, you're going to say something along the lines of, but why don't you stop watching it? And it's because this show fucking owes me. This show is either going to get good or it's going to get canceled. And either way, I win. This show goes out of its fucking way to piss me, a comic book fan, off.
Okay.
And I've realized through watching the first 4 episodes of season 3 that this show is weirdly not for me. It's definitely for people like my dad who have a general understanding of the Teen Titans, but maybe don't know like enough about like legacy DC characters to know everything that's like how it's supposed to happen in the comics. And I don't if you want to do an alternate story and like change things that how they're in the comics, I'm all for that. Titans is doing it poorly.
Okay.
If there's anything I could touch on, I want to talk about Barbara Gordon. Barbara Gordon, as we all know, Batgirl gets shot. That's what the Killing Joke is. And then she's wheelchaired. She can't fight crime anymore, so she turns into Oracle, the man in the chair, if you will. In Titans, Commissioner Gordon is dead. The new commissioner is a wheelchaired Barbara Gordon, which means that Killing Joke already happened before Titans even started, right? Except, first of all, Barbara Gordon doesn't have red hair, which, like, that was the easy part to not fuck up. This version of Barbara Gordon has one leg.
Oh.
Rather than a fucked up back. So here, two trains of thought. One, this character is one-legged. They got a one-legged actress. Good for them. But now that she's a one-legged character and she's always wheelchaired, it changes. It really implies that one-legged people can't be superheroes. Because, like, people who have one leg can walk with prosthetics, including the actress who they have playing Barbara Gordon.
I mean, I had somebody in my family with one leg,
right.
And I actually didn't know it for most of my life.
Right. Because, like, if you have a severed, a shot spine, you're in a wheelchair all the time, yeah, I get it. But if you have one leg, you just get it. There's literally, in Teen Titans Academy, the comic right now, there's a Flash, there's a speedster who is a double amputee. She has two prosthetic legs, and essentially her only weakness is sometimes she's not wearing them and she has to go get them before she can run fast and fight crime.
Yeah.
So it really was just like, I know that Titans isn't saying one-legged people can't be superheroes, but that's really the vibe it gives off when you change, because you didn't have to change that.
Right.
This is what I'm talking about. Like, you can change, Robin's origin story if you want. I don't give a shit. But you can't change that because then it implies shittier things. I don't know. There's other stuff they're doing bad. Timeline's all fucky-wucky. If I can spoil episode 1 of season 3, Batman killed the Joker, but I think it might be Hush and not actually Batman. Who knows? Who fucking knows? It's a bad show. Nobody should watch it. If you haven't started it, couldn't not recommend it enough. Don't watch it.
With that, do you want to get into news?
Yeah, let's talk about some fucking news. Also, it was Tim Drake. We talked about Robin last week, how he's bisexual. It's Tim Drake.
Oh, okay.
Is the one who's bisexual, which makes the most sense to me. I watched a long video about it, and this woman was very like, I actually really like her. I forget what her name is, though. But she was very like, here's the goods and the bads. Here's what people who don't like it are saying. Here's what people who like it are saying, and stuff like that. It was cool. Lots of controversy in comic books right now that doesn't have to be there if we would all just accept LGBT people.
Right.
But people, within the people who like are cool with it happening, the argument is, does this feel like it came out of nowhere, or does it feel like he's been bisexual the whole time? That's kind of where the talk is.
Well, yeah, right, I mean, I have no comment because I don't read comics and I don't know much about that Robin in particular.
I mean, if I can be real, me either. I don't know that much about Tim Drake either.
Yeah, so I mean, that's the thing. Sometimes they'll do it just for the hell of it, and sometimes it's okay, but sometimes if it's an ongoing story, it's like, but why? Right. And I could understand that argument. I don't know this character either way.
Right.
Maybe there's the other side of that where they want to do it to be more inclusive, and here's a character whose sexuality hasn't been mentioned at all.
Right.
So might as well do it anyways.
Well, the interesting thing about revealing your character as a bisexual person is they could have heterosexual relationships since the early 70s, and all of a sudden, it seems like enough clues were there that there were some people who already kind of figured he was bisexual.
Okay.
I feel like Loki did a good job. I feel like Loki's
Loki
a character where if you go back and watch every Loki movie, you're like, yeah, I get it.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. For 10 years, they were essentially like, we're not going to say it, but here it is.
Well, I think they wanted to wait until Loki was not a villain. Like, the only time Loki's not a villain is, I guess, the tail end of Ragnarok and his show. Because it's kind of weird if you're like, our one LGBT character is a villain.
I think that might have been coincidental. If you go back as far as Loki's been in the MCU, I'm pretty sure it predates gay marriage being legal across the country. I think they just didn't say it because when that movie came out, it's...
Yeah, because that was Obama, right? And Obama started in 2012?
Yeah.
Yeah, so yes. So Thor 1 is from 2011. So I think it was 2014 when gay marriage was legalized countrywide.
Yeah, so I just have a feeling they just made a point of not saying it. And now that we're a decade more progressive,
right? And also,
it's
now that
very
Marvel,
easy to say it.
Now that Marvel literally plans movies like 18 movies in advance,
right?
They can be like, all right, here's where we'll drop the reveal.
Yeah, no, exactly. I think what you mentioned is a happy coincidence. I think it just happened to work out that it wasn't until he was a good guy that they decided to pull the trigger.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that was the reason.
If Marvel came out in an official statement and was like, we've wanted him by the whole time, but we were waiting for the world to get as cool as we are, I would probably believe them.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Like, some people would say something like that, and I'd be like, I don't know, it sounds like you just want good press. But I would believe Marvel if they said that.
That's kind of a better way of what I was saying with the whole Robin situation is sometimes it's like that Steve Buscemi meme when it's like, oh, gay. Have you ever seen that one where he's in a skateboard? He has a skateboard.
Oh yeah, the Hello Fellow Teens.
Yeah,
yeah.
But whenever
whenever
it's Pride Month, the meme it's they put that corporations over Steve Buscemi and it's hi fellow gays.
Yeah.
Sometimes it really just feels like that.
Yeah.
So
No, dude, have you seen those pictures of corporate Twitter where it's like Bethesda, Sony, Microsoft, all these companies, and they'll have their Twitter logo as a rainbow version until the fucking nanosecond that it's not Gay Pride Month anymore, and also the
other countries,
the accounts from other countries where gay marriage isn't legal, they don't change it.
Yeah. No, it's not. I mean, some companies are straight up playing PR, just playing the field, in morphing to whatever fits the times, and that's not cool. And it's not more apparent anywhere than gay pride when it comes to advertising and such. And that's why sometimes being inclusive and being represented is absolutely important, but sometimes there's a you got to do it in a dignified way.
Right.
Don't just do it just to do it just because.
Right.
Like in that Twitter thing is a perfect example where it's like, well, we love gays over here, but fuck them in this country.
Yeah.
And it's like,
and then it's like, well, Bethesda, you see, if you really cared this much, maybe
just do it everywhere.
Maybe, or also maybe just leave it up for, we forgot for 2 days. It's Gay Pride Month is over and it's still there. Oops, we forgot to change it.
See, that doesn't bother me as much as the other countries, because with that, you can set a temporary profile and you choose when it stops.
Right.
So why not choose to end it right as Pride Month ends? At least they have a possible excuse there.
I feel
There's
like
no
it would
excuse with the other country situation.
Right. I feel like I would feel better if, just to use Bethesda for an example, because I keep saying them, the people who make Skyrim and Fallout. If every month they changed their color to be something else, you know what I mean? Now it's this month, but it's just interesting that it's just the Bethesda logo, and then the second it's, I think, what is that? April, March? I forget which month is
Gay
Pride.
I thought it was May. I really don't know.
I forget too. I shouldn't though. The second it turns that month, they turn it off. They turn it on, and then the second it's not that month, they turn it off, and then it's back to the normal Bethesda logo again.
Yeah.
I would feel better if it was now we're doing this month,
right?
Because then obviously yes, to change it over.
Yeah, no, there's definitely just corporate slime doing what fits the demographic the best.
Yeah.
And that's not cool. So, with that, in the Robin situation, I would say don't do it if there's no reason to do
Right.
it, but do it if it furthers this character along and it makes sense.
Right. There is so much LGBT representation in DC Comics.
Yeah.
Just a fucking waterfall of it. I'm really, proud is a weird word to use, but I'm just really excited at how much LGBT representation is in the comics, and I don't know. It feels to me, because I'm really truly not that familiar with Tim Drake or Red Robin or whatever you want to call him. But from what I've read, it feels like they've been hinting at this and they've wanted to do it for a while. It is weird that they did it a couple months after their big, huge, here's a LGBT 100-pager. I feel like they could have done it in that.
Right.
So I don't know what negotiations were for this. But I will say I personally am cool with it. I think that
Oh yeah.
I think that it, and I think if there was going to be a Robin to do this, it would be him.
Yeah.
I feel like Jason Todd, it would definitely be weird, and I feel like Dick Grayson has been around long enough that we should have known already.
Right. Well, that's
And Damian Wayne, I think, is still like 12 or something.
Oh, okay. Well, that's. I bring it up in my diversity and storytelling video
Yes,
essay,
which is really good,
Oh,
and
thank you.
everyone should go watch it.
Well, it touches on this a bit. When you're working with a legacy character, things can get a bit touchy, and you got to do things tastefully.
Mm.
If you're making a brand new character, make them whatever the hell you want to make
Right.
them. You
Right.
know? Especially if you want to be inclusive. Sorry, I get exclusive and inclusive.
No, you're good,
mixed
you're
up
good.
Sometimes, if you want to be inclusive, make characters an array of things, because that's what our world is. But when it comes to legacy characters, you do have to be careful what makes them them, and if you change this, does it change the character itself? But it really sounds like the sexuality of this character has never been a big deal.
Right.
So make it whatever you want.
Right.
But don't make it whatever you want just to get good press.
Right.
That's a whole other issue I didn't even talk on in my
And do you want to know?
video.
Do you want to know what really? Sorry, we're talking about this for so long. I'm just kind of passionate about it. Do you want to know what really makes me think that they're not doing this so they can get good press? Is that in like 2009 or some shit, they made one of the Green Lanterns gay, and they got a ton of bad press because people were like, "What? You're gay?" And if you look into it for a goddamn second, it's Alan Scott's Green Lantern, the one from Earth 2, the one from the Justice Society of America, the one that no one cared about anyways up until that point. And it was one of those moments where it was like, clearly DC wants this character to be homosexual, because why would they do it if it was going to get this much bad press?
Right.
So, and now that it's August 2021 and they have so many LGBT characters and this happened, I was just like, yeah, okay.
Oh yeah, I'm surprised people, and I'm surprised we are even talking about it for this long, because who cares?
Right. Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah. That's the
Um,
other thing. They did it again to a character that, like, you were like, Robin's gay. I was like, oh, which one? And then when I heard it was Tim Drake, I was like, oh, neat.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. No,
I've seen him in maybe one comic panel once. And maybe he was in death metal. Who knows?
Yeah. Anyways, moving on.
Yeah, sorry about that.
No, that's okay. So we got a story that's progressed quite a bit over the last week.
Okay.
So let me start at the beginning. Bob Dylan accused of sexually abusing a 12-year-old girl in 1965.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bob Dylan, remind me, is still with us, right?
Yes, you saw him at a concert, or you
I
had the
could've.
option to, and you chose not to.
Yeah,
you
I
son
didn't.
Of a
It's-
bitch. Anyways,
he sucks.
Bob Dylan is still with us. He sucks.
He makes
This-
bad. I don't know what to tell you. He makes bad music.
I would argue
There was other people at that festival.
I would argue at that festival he was the only one to win a Nobel Prize for his songwriting. But anyways,
Yeah, well,
Bob
you know.
denies claim that he sexually abused a 12-year-old girl in 1965, which, like, yeah, obviously he's
Yeah.
going to deny that.
Also, if it is true and he's like, no, I didn't do that, like, I feel like it was long enough ago that he probably thinks he can get away with lying about
Well,
it if it was true. But it seems like this is not the end of the story.
This is not the end of the story. I saw just in the comments of those two posts,
Yeah.
people being like, so I'm guessing this woman is from the States, and in the comments, everybody's like, Dylan was touring in Europe in spring of 1965.
Oh.
Your facts don't add up. And
Oh.
the story, the plot thickens. Bob Dylan's lawsuit, Dylanologists, which I guess is a thing.
Wait, what?
Dylanologists.
Is that what his fans call themselves? What the hell is a Dylanologist?
I'm guessing that's somebody who knows everything about this man's career.
Okay.
Accuser's lawyer spar over 1965 whereabouts. So we're currently deciphering where Bob Dylan actually was in 1965.
Okay.
But there were other posts too. Everybody was essentially like, this person's story doesn't add up.
Here's my question.
Yes.
Who accused him of this? The female he supposedly sexual harassed?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Then I have no more to say. I feel like we should wait now to.
Can I also mention one other thing?
Yeah.
Because we do not condone blaming victims on this.
Oh, of course not.
But it really is a little fishy that she chose this year to do this.
Why?
Because Bob Dylan just months ago sold his entire discography for billions of dollars.
What do you mean? This is me being a dummy. What do you mean he sold his entire...
The rights to his music. He just sold all of his music.
We can use it in movies now and stuff like that?
Well, or there's another private...
There's a different person to pay when you want to use it in movies. Got
exactly.
it. Okay.
So he just sold all of that this year. It's a little... The timing's a little funny.
If she is lying, it's probably to get some of that good.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just... This one, usually, sometimes people mention that, and it's like, well, lives happen.
Right.
But for this one, it's like, lady.
No, I mean, and
it's half a decade later.
We here at Thunder and Lightning will wait to see what happens.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And innocent till proven guilty,
of course.
But
and in the case of Johnny Depp, innocent until proven guilty until proven innocent.
Right. And then it's too late, unfortunately, because that poor man. Other news, he feels like Hollywood has turned their back on him.
Well, I mean, they did because they thought
He thinks they still are.
Well, that's the thing. Like, if they're still fucking trying to shoehorn Pirate 6, even if he's not the main character, because I would argue that he wasn't the main character of the last one, but no one cared about that one. Even if he's not the main character of 6, there's no reason he shouldn't get to be in it.
Right.
Also, don't you, not that I give a fucking shit about these movies, but don't you completely ruin Fantastic Beasts and How to Touch Them All if you take Johnny Depp out of your movie? Isn't he like the main villain?
I was reading news.
The Fantastic Beasts movies.
Yes.
Isn't Johnny Depp the main villain?
Yeah.
And don't you kind of ruin your shitty Fantastic Beasts movie if you take Johnny Depp out?
I mean, they're already shitty, though.
No, I know. I'm just,
yeah.
I'm trying to play all fields.
Yeah, I guess so. But, hold on. Let me make my position clear. Put Johnny Depp in your movies. He did nothing wrong.
Right.
And even if he didn't do anything wrong, he didn't do what he was accused of doing.
Right.
So fuck you. Put him in your movies. Or like if I was Johnny Depp and I gave enough of a shit, fucking sue him for slander. They're not hiring you because you did something. Well, I didn't, and it's been proven.
Right.
Anyways. Gene Simmons says that the members of KISS are the foremost recognized faces on Earth. Yeah,
well, maybe
Thunder's shaking his head a lot.
I mean, is he talking about when they wear the makeup? Because
even then, no. No, even then, no. They're not.
Well, if he means most recognizable as if, like, they're walking down the street and I say, oh, that's clearly KISS or a KISS impersonator. Is that what he means? Because then, sure, you wear armor and you have fucking face makeup.
I would argue there's still a large amount of people who wouldn't know who they are. Also,
one day we just gotta do it. We gotta rip the Band-Aid off. We gotta watch Scooby-Doo meets Kiss. We gotta do
well,
it.
if we're gonna watch all the Scooby-Doo movies, we have to. If he's saying that they're the world's most franchised band, I would absolutely agree to that. They're on everything.
Right.
You can get a Kiss anything.
Yeah, the word most recognizable is odd because, like, I would argue that Justin Bieber is more recognizable at this moment in time, you know?
I would argue Jesus Christ is more recognizable. I would argue
Oh, he's not just talking music?
most recognizable faces on Earth.
Oh, then never mind. Donald Trump is more recognizable. Like,
Yeah, no, there's a million people who are more
but
recognizable than
But
Kiss.
if in his wording he means when you see us, you know that we're Kiss, then, like, yeah, I get it. But you worded it weird.
Yes.
But
I
no,
mean-
if he means the first one, then he is wrong. There's a ton of maybe 20 years ago, maybe. But even
I don't
then,
even know about that. I don't even know about that.
Even then, it's a stretch.
Let's see. Captain America 4 confirmed Anthony Mackie starring, obviously.
Yeah, we knew that, didn't we?
Yeah, well, the internet, and this wasn't just one post. The internet, I skipped through past 3 of these or 4 of these, and I was like, I guess I'll screenshot one. Fuck, I thought we all knew that this was going to happen.
I feel like even if they didn't say that yet, I feel like the Falcon and Winter Soldier show ending with the words Captain America will return or whatever, and then on Twitter that evening they post like there's going to be a 4th one. I think we all assumed that it was going to be Anthony Mackie, or is the news that just Anthony Mackie is confirmed and not Sebastian Stan yet?
I don't really know.
Yeah,
I don't
that's
know.
interesting.
They were just
I feel
really
like
making
that's
a point.
Not news. It's very interesting.
Not
your fault, obviously.
More Gene Simmons news.
Oh.
Gene Simmons recently mocked David Lee Roth, singer for Van Halen, by comparing him to, quote, a bloated naked Elvis on the bathroom floor. The former Van Halen frontman has now responded with 18 middle fingers. I guess he just keeps adding Gene Simmons with a different picture of somebody flipping him off.
Oh, okay.
So Gene Simmons just wiping the floor with his bullshit this week.
Gene Simmons really thinks he's like he's it, huh? He really thinks that he's like the best.
Yeah, I guess so. Neil Young doing the right thing. Neil Young withdraws from Farm Aid 2021. Quote, my soul tells me it would be wrong. Full quote.
Because of COVID?
My soul tells me it would be wrong to risk having anyone die because they wanted to hear music and be with friends.
Neil Young is still alive?
Yes, he's still
Neil
performing.
Okay. I thought Neil Young was... Oh, no. Is Neil Diamond dead?
Oh, I don't think so.
Somebody named Neil is no longer with us in the music industry.
Oh, okay.
Is Neil Sedaka dead? Somebody is dead.
OnlyFans to prohibit sexually explicit content.
I forgot about this.
Starting in October.
Yeah, goodbye.
Yeah, they just shot themselves in the foot.
They Tumblred themselves.
Yeah.
They're literally like... it's so frustrating. I saw someone make a really, really salient point, and I'm just going to repeat what they said. They spent the better part of the last 2 to 3 years making a safe place for sexual content and like sexual content creators and nudity and just a safe place to be yourself and promote whatever content you want, no matter how explicit. And then just within a day, they were like, and fuck you. Go somewhere else. You're going to stop making money.
Yeah.
I don't care about your bills.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just, and they want, they clearly are doing it because they want, brands to recognize them. They want fucking like Twitter integration, and they want PayPal to be an acceptable payment option, and it's just like...
It really makes me feel that when they started this company, they fully intended to have like bands or actors or stuff to really back whatever they thought their site was going to be, and then it just turned into they're the Pornhub of social media.
Right.
But like unless they obviously they must have. Here's the thing. No, I'm backtracking my own thoughts before I even say them. If they did have a morally, moral dispute, if they were like, "Oh, we can't do this. This is wrong. We don't want to do this," then do it 3 years ago. Don't make money off of a bunch of people and then fuck them all over.
Right. I was trying to find it, but I was just trying to no scope it, but I can't. Someone I saw a tweet and someone was like, "This reminds me of when Google bought Tumblr for $3.3 billion, and then a year late, and then removed nudity, and then a year later sold it for $1 million or some shit like that."
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean it makes sense. Star Wars.
I know that.
You know them?
Yeah.
The official new name of Boba Fett's ship revealed.
Oh, yeah. That's right. Because it's for those of you who don't know, it was for this whole time called the Slave One.
The Slave One, which I have two thoughts. One, I don't think it was that big of a deal. I really don't. I'm sorry. Two, it was a dumb name.
Well,
Slave
here's the
One
thing,
is a
right?
dumb name for a ship.
Last time we talked about this, you brought up an excellent point. There's fucking slavery all throughout Star Wars.
Oh yeah.
But I would like to counter that with what I countered it last time. This one, if you were gonna look at any like mention of the word slave, this one is the most unnecessary. Like his ship doesn't have to be called that.
It's canonically mentioned in Star Wars, but like only once.
Right.
I think they mention once that the Slave One, something about the Slave One.
Yeah. In the movies, at least. I'm
yeah.
sure there's novels or whatever.
You could straight up just doesn't.
Right.
Just don't even mention the ship.
So what's the new name? I'm excited. Well, he's getting his own TV show. I'm assuming that's why they're doing this. Because he's going to talk about the ship on his TV show.
Oh, yeah. No. I mean, I understand why they're doing it future tense.
Right.
So, you know that joke in Guardians of the Galaxy where Rocket Raccoon makes fun of that guy's face? That guy's being named Taserface?
Yeah.
Well, Boba Fett's ship is called Fire Spray.
Oh, no.
Yeah, everybody look out. Fire Spray's coming.
Oh, no.
Boba Fett's on the Fire Spray.
That sucks. Why didn't they just call it the something one?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, why didn't they just call it a one-syllable word and then the number one? What the fuck? That's a dumb name.
Fire Spray.
I was excited. I thought you were going to say, like...
No, but Anthony, look out for Fire Spray.
No, I know. He's going to piss all over me.
Oh, no. I got killed by Fire Spray. Just leave it Slave One and never mention the name again.
Or just change it to something like I don't know, a different
Bounty One,
a different one-syllable S word, like the Slay One, or something like that.
That makes
I don't know.
me think of Santa. I get what you're going for.
No,
and
like
slay
SLAY.
as in kill somebody.
Yeah,
I know, but like that's still better than Fire Spray. I'm not saying that's not better than Fire Spray, but here I am, like, here comes Boba Fett. Here comes Boba Fett.
Fire Spray is so. Like, this is my ship, murder porn. It's just two words that don't, like, just, it's so dumb. I hate it.
Yeah,
I didn't
expect
it. I didn't expect to be this passionate about it. I thought you were going to be like, it's called this. I'd be like, all right, next news.
That's why I reempted, like, this was very unnecessary. Slave One, I get it, but, like, it's very unnecessary. And then they go ahead and call it Fire
see,
Spray.
I do understand why they want to change it, but change it to something good, and not stupid.
Well, yes, that's the thing is, if I was Mickey Mouse, and somebody got me to be like, listen, you got to change the name of Slave One, we would sit down and have a discussion of like, I understand where you're coming from. Is this one really that important?
Right.
And if they manage to convince me otherwise, I'd be like, all right, better be a badass name. And if they came back to me with, okay, well, here's the final one. Here it goes, Fire Spray. I'd say, oh, okay, Slave One it is. Good one.
We can't forget that in that analogy you were Mickey Mouse.
Yeah.
I just didn't want that detail to slide away. There was a lot of music. Sorry, I know I stopped right at the
There's a lot of music ones in this, and I'm sorry. Wasn't intentional. Man dies after falling off balcony at Dead & Company concert.
Okay. Do you think they, because I've never heard of Dead & Company, do you think they paid that man to kill himself so they would get bad press?
Well, the irony. So Dead & Company is the surviving members of the Grateful Dead and some musician friends of theirs playing Grateful Dead songs.
Okay.
So that's Dead & Company. But geez, people just getting fucked up at the Dead & Company concerts.
I guess.
All right, we're closing in here. World's first flying motorcycle aces successful test run. This thing is straight up like I don't know.
Oh my God, there's no cockpit.
It's a speeder bike from Star Wars.
But with wings?
With little tiny wings. Also,
it doesn't have a cockpit though.
No, it's a bike.
Does it have a fucking seatbelt?
I don't know.
Because if no, then I'm not gonna ride it.
So here's.
I don't think we had to do this one.
Here's the deal. We'll talk about it or make it.
No, I'm glad we're talking about it. I don't think we had to make this one.
Well, here's the thing. I'm not sure if they fucking did because the video is all CGI.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I was like psyched. I looked at this thing and I was like, "Fuck, that looks rad. It's gonna kill somebody instantly." And I was like, I really want to see it in action. I clicked the video and it's all CGI, and I was like, I was like, all right, this doesn't seem real. And then everybody was ripping this thing apart in the comments. Somebody was like, first of all, in order for it to be a motorcycle, it would need wheels, because the way they worded it was flying motorcycle. It's a I would call it a motor speeder.
Okay.
It's not a bicycle.
Right.
What they mean is the way you sit on it is like a motorcycle, but
if it doesn't, so this thing isn't like the every science fiction's flying car thing where it has wheels and then it takes off. This is just
seems like this thing has Iron Man style jets.
Interesting.
That
Just
you
stay
can
on the ground. Just stay on the ground. Don't go up in space. Don't go down to the ocean. Just stay on the fucking ground.
I mean,
You'll
it looks like
safe.
it would be cool as shit. Everybody else was ripping it for that too. They were like, well, considering motorcycle accidents aren't that bad on the ground, I'm sure this will be fantastic.
Good. I'm glad everyone is just like, fuck this invention.
No, I'm fucking psyched for it. Are you kidding me?
If you
just doesn't exist is the issue.
If it did exist and you got the opportunity to ride one, I would beg you to not ride one.
I would ride one over the ocean. I would. So what's gonna happen? Except ruining this probably $300,000 bike.
What happens when you fly a motorcycle over the ocean and then you crash? Shark attack, Chris. You're not thinking clearly.
I don't go that far out. Anyways, it looks the CGI model looks cool as shit. Did I even show you? Do you want to see it?
No, I saw it.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't have a cockpit, so it's gonna stay like a couple thousand feet above the surface of the Earth.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
Okay.
PewDiePie.
Yeah.
Nope. People don't like him.
So here's what happens. That guy's a big, huge racist, and he should have been canceled years ago. But he continues to be one of, if not the most subscribed YouTube channel on the platform, and I don't understand why. He literally said the N-word multiple times on a live stream, and we've like all forgiven him or some shit. Obviously, not everyone has, but like he didn't really take a hit from that.
Sounds like a real piece of shit.
He is a real piece of shit.
PewDiePie
and that's kind of the point I was trying to get across, but for some reason people still like him.
Yeah, PewDiePie and his wife melt everyone's hearts with virtual Instagram posts. I saw that and I was like, oh, I thought this guy sucks.
Yeah,
I don't remember why, but I feel like this guy sucks. Why do people care?
I mean, that's the thing. PewDiePie does suck, but people still follow him for some reason.
That's stupid.
I don't know. It's fucking so frustrating. Pro Jared. Do you remember when the Pro Jared shit was happening, and it was like he cheated on his wife with Ross's wife or whatever? none of that shit fucking happened, and there was no reason to cancel him. And he came out a couple months later, and he was like, I have all this lawyer stuff. Look at all the proof that it didn't happen. And he's like been thriving as much as one can after they've been canceled and then uncanceled. And he's, in my opinion, if I can out myself as a pro Jared fan, put out some of his best content that I've ever seen him put out. And that was like a year-long struggle that he's like still like reaping the like opposite of benefits of. He just like a bunch of people are like, oh, fuck pro Jared, right? They're like, yeah, fuck him. But PewDiePie like does like the most directly cancelable thing that you could do. So saying a racial slur on a Twitch live stream. And not only is he not banned from Twitch, but he continues to grow and have like 250 billion followers. Like, I mean, not even joking around.
Shame on Twitch.
Shame on everyone who let this happen.
Well, them most directly. Really?
Yeah.
It's stupid.
I don't know. It just I guess the point I was trying to make with the Pro Jared stuff is that I don't understand why he got away with it. I don't understand why he gets to continue being. Yeah, he must have a fucking good lawyer or something.
No, I mean, he might have hired a PR person to be like, handle this for me.
No, I'm sure he already had one if you have that many subscribers.
Well, sure, then he has a good one.
Yeah.
Newly observed terrestrial exoplanet seems very habitable. So fuck this one.
Okay. I'm down for fuck this planet. Exoplanet? What does that mean?
I don't know, but it sounds cool.
It does sound cool. It sounds like you're supposed to live inside of it.
Yeah, it does sound like that, huh?
That'd be neat.
That would be neat.
If we lived in a world, if we lived on like a small globe inside a globe of like impenetrable gas, and we lived disease-free. Oh man, I'm just daydreaming now about living somewhere that's not Earth. I know I said stay on the ground, but like if Earth is uninhabitable, which it probably will be in the next 100 or 2 years.
You bring up a crazy point. Imagine if a planet, there were multiple layers. You know how much fucking room there would be? We're on surface level. We are on layer 1.
Yeah.
There's so much wasted space within this Earth.
Oh, you mean like, what if we could like keep going? Like if there was like we could live in the core as well.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
I had a Magic School Bus book, because those started as books, and they go to the center of the Earth.
Well, they all died then.
But they had the frizz.
Too bad. And that concludes the news segment of this podcast.
And that concludes the Thunder and Lightning podcast.
Oh.
Thank you so much for listening. Make sure to check out the video essay coming out Sunday, 2 days from now, if you're listening to this when it went live. Like I said, Chris worked really hard on it. It's about Star Wars. And hopefully it's good. I haven't made it yet, but hopefully it's good. I think it's going to be good.
We should goop it up next episode.
We should what?
Goop it up.
Yes, yeah. I was actually just thinking about how we haven't done Goop in a while. So tune in next week for the thrilling continuation of our ongoing Goop segment. She's probably got some, and by she I mean the entire company. She's probably got some new bullshit that we haven't even heard of. Because last time we checked in, it was Mother's Day.
Wow.
We were doing Mother's Day gift guide stuff.
Well, that'll be cool.
Yeah. All right, but yeah, you're gonna hear an outro here in a couple seconds. Do all the things it says, and until next time. Oh, and sorry. Thank you to Brad Kendrick for making our intro.
Yes.
Up and coming 18-year-old director made a Star Wars fan film. The channel is just his name, Brad Kendrick, and we interviewed him. Please go check him out. He's great. And he made the intro for us free of charge, and we are very grateful for that. And until next time, I've been Thunder.
And I'm Lightning.
And we'll see you later. Thank you for listening and watching. And if you like what you see, please be sure to subscribe.
Our channel is daily uploads from podcasts to video essays, Let's Plays to skits.
Be sure to find us on Twitch and Patreon.
Our theme song is Sunny Day by Froggy and the Friendship, and our Let's Play intro is Sunny Bit by the same band.
Link to all these in the description below. Thanks again, and we'll see you next time.